story to death about how this cop got killed. Well, two cops actually got killed, along with the suspect who killed them, like about a week or so ago, week and a half ago. Young rookie cop, and another cop that was with him. They got shot by an assault rifle when they went to answer a domestic violence call. Okay, so they've been beat. The reason why I say they've been beating that story, that's because like every, 10-10 wins is like damn near on a loop. They just keep repeating the same news every 20 minutes. Like every 20 minutes, they just repeat the same news over and over again. And they may give you a little bit of new spin on it and then introduce one topic maybe every couple of hours. But they just say the same stories over and over again. So that story was like their headline story this week about how the funeral was happening this week or the memorial services and things like that. So they were just, oh, he was ambushed and such happened and da, da, da. But they be killing these stories, the police in such a great light, killed in a line of duty. But I'm like, that's not really a death problem or anything. I mean, that's like it's not police dying in the line of duty. They only highlight the ones that are killed by suspects. But usually it's a gun problem. They just usually highlight the people that end up getting killed by guns, but they don't say anything about the availability of guns. And that's the reason why a lot of these cops are dying. So I went and I looked to check out the statistics to see how many police officers was killed in New York in 2021. And I found this. I found this right here. It gives you like the total number of deaths for police officers, right? And as you can see, you see assaults right there is at 5, right? 5 assaults. That means somebody was hand to hand in it with police, getting in the fisticuffs with police, and 5 police died. All right. And again, this is from Officer Down Memorial page, odmp.org. Right. So as you can see, 5 people died from assaults. And as you can see, actually more officers died from car crashes. 22. All right. 22 officers died from car crashes. You don't really hear that because usually officers are speeding somewhere on their way to a crime scene and they die in vehicular accidents. All right. That doesn't even separate out the ones that might have been drunk driving too or whatever. That's just all of them combined. But then, of course, even more so, we see that gunfire killed 62 police last year in 2021 in New York City. All right. Gunfire, right? The proliferation of guns. We're not talking about holding the manufacturers accountable, the seller of the gun. We're not holding them accountable. We're not holding the first purchaser of the gun accountable, right? We're just talking about crime. And somebody even called into one of these shows, NPR, I believe it was, and said, hey, the guy that killed that police officer was a black guy. Doesn't that mean something about black people? Like, what are we going to do about why black people kill police? There's like almost 10 million people in New York. 62 people got killed, 62 police officers got shot and killed. That's not a thorough percentage at all. That's nothing. That doesn't mean anything about black people in general. To say, oh, you know, 62 people died. And those weren't all, I'm sure those weren't all black people that killed all those police either. Okay. They make gunfire in these, high profile or salacious type of crimes. They make them real big, right? But in actuality, what was the biggest cause of death last year for New York City police officers? If you look, it actually says COVID. 353 officers died in the line of duty from COVID. So how come that wasn't the lead story? How come that's never the lead story? How come they don't talk every week about, oh, another officer died this week from COVID because he refused to get vaccinated, refused to get the shot? They don't talk about that. Look at how many people that is, 353 compared to 62, right? That's like almost quadruple the number of officers that got shot actually died from COVID, right? And just so you know that that's not just like some uh, random thing that just happens in New York. That happens all over the place. In fact, we had an officer out of Washington State, an officer named Robert LeMay, ex-Washington State trooper, who was fired because he told the governor to kiss his ass over the state's vaccine mandate, right? Seems like he died from COVID last week. This was after he told the governor to kiss his ass about the vaccine mandate. He actually died from COVID, right? So how come that wasn't a big story this week? They don't want to talk about that, right? They want to tell you that gunfire and this and that is the big thing for you to worry about, right? That's the big thing for you. You're supposed to worry about if you're a police officer. That's what you're supposed to have so much sympathy for them about, right? Well, y'all take that as you will.